What makes the political system what it is today?
What are the recurring issues?
Order.
The tussle for power.
An extremely problematic area.
The tension.
The instability of the system.
Join Ellen 24/7 as we take you inside the local and international political arena in the world of politics.
Apologize for saying that I was corrupt.
I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
Watch politics now
On LN 24/7.
Don't miss Politics Now on LN 24/7.
Hello and welcome to Politics Now. My name is Mono Balagogo. Today on the program, we'll be dissecting all the conversations that's hinged on the Supreme Court's verdict on the 2023 presidential election. And of course, there's been lots of reactions. We'll get straight into that. That's the first on our talking point. And secondly, what next for the opposition? Are they willing to work with government? And then finally, restoring confidence in Nigeria's electoral process. Joining us on the program today is Professor Tai Balofin, Chairman, APC, United States of America. And of course, joining us from Lagos, Nigeria is Honorable Pastor Haruna Efe, former Labour Party Organizing Secretary, Lagos State. And of course, joining us from Manchester in the United Kingdom, a member of the People's Democratic Party, Michael Lanre Toluhi, MLT. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on Politics Now. Before we go into the conversation, let's take a short breather. When we come back, we'll go straight into the conversation. Stay with us. I'm glad to have you back on Politics Now, focusing on the Supreme Court's verdict on the 2023 presidential election. There's been so much conversation, but let us hear from the three sides, the APC, the People's Democratic Party, and of course the Labour Party. The Supreme Court on Thursday affirmed President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, APC, as the valid winner of the presidential election that held in the country on February 25th. The Supreme Court rejected the application by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to be allowed to tender a copy of President Bola Tinubu's certificate, which he obtained from Chicago State University in the United States. Justice Nyango Koro, who led the panel of the 5 Supreme Court justices, delivered the judgment in the appeals brought forth by also Peter Obi of the Labour Party. And of course, just to give you a rundown of the rulings from the court, the major ones, the Supreme Court upheld the rulings by the appeal court that a candidate does not need to get at least 25% FCT votes to be declared as the country's president. The Supreme Court also ruled that the failure of the Independent National Electoral Commission to electronically transmit the election results via the IRF portal does not affect the collation. And then the Supreme Court also declared that the unavailability of election results on the INEC result viewing portal, IREV, cannot serve as a basis for the annulment of the presidential election that was held in February 2023. Well, President Tinubu reacted to the verdict on Thursday. Let's take a listen to what he said quickly.
I've started from day one to work hard, regardless of, the court cases, okay? And just strengthen my resolve to do more. A challenge of this nature and a future of this nature is more work and more hard work, more dedication. And just appeal to the sense of patriotism of Nigeria to have a change of mindset. Let us be positive about our country. be ready to contribute in all ways possible. There's no promise of El Dorado from day one. We're all in this boat of diversity, a member of the same family, living in the same house, but stay in different rooms. And it is important that we recognize that we have no other country but this one. So we better be committed to it, not for the sake of our own self-aggrandizement. Our commitment to the values, the creed of dedication, patriotism, and commitment to the value of this country. It is extremely important that we have a change of mindset for the sake of our country. Not for us, but for our children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, the inheritors of tomorrow.
Your Excellency, we wish you a successful
This moment, we've concentrated on pulling Nigeria from the boot trap of depression. And we understand the sovereignty of the country. You don't need additional distraction to be able to concentrate on building a new economy for the people, an inclusive one for that matter. And the judgment of the Supreme Court put a stop to shenanigans, put a stop to innuendos, put a stop to lies or trial in the media and public place. The court has demonstrated indivisible commitment to rule of law and humanity, and their commitment to do justice for all Nigerians, regardless of ethnic, religious, or any other biases.
And of course, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, has also urged opponents of President Bola Tinubu to accept defeat and wait for their turn, while calling on all to work with government to move Nigeria forward. Let's take a look at what he said.
To God be the glory. It is not something unexpected. It's something that we have been waiting. We know ultimately what we heard today is what is going to be said. But the fact that it has come at these early hours, we have nothing to say but to say thank God to Nigeria, thank God to all the good people of Nigeria who prayed for this particular day, for this historic victory. I think this time around, after this pronouncement, we have no excuse but to go back to business as usual, to go back and reset our agenda and see what we can be able to do for the people of Nigeria for the next 3.5 or 4 years. They should take heart. There is always one victor at a time. This is Asuaju's time. They should all take heart, come and join hands with him so that we move Nigeria to a greater level.
And of course, other APC chieftains, including the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, said that President Bola Tinubu's victory was a validation of the mandate which the Nigerian people gave him and Nigeria's electoral and judicial process. Let's just take a little soundbite of what Abdullahi Ganduje said.
Only for APC is a success even for other political parties and a success for Nigerians. This has indicated that democracy is getting matured in Nigeria because politicians, after election, instead of resorting to, infight, resorting to causing confusion, we resort to the judiciary. And this is what this has shown that democracy is in action. So I think what we can learn from this judgment is that Nigeria has come of age as far as democracy is concerned, because we believe in the rule of law.
Thank you.
Well, in a statement, Ganduje called on presidential candidates of both the opposition PDP Labour Party to bury their hatchets and join hands with President Tinubu to reposition the country towards sustainable growth and development. The PDP asserts that it is indeed a sad commentary for democracy that the Supreme Court failed to uphold the provisions of the law. Instead, it trashed the expectation of the majority of Nigerians who looked up to it as a temple of impartiality to deliver substantial justice in the matter, having regards to the laws and the facts of the case. The general gloom, melancholy, and sense of despondency across the country upon the delivery of the judgment is an ominous sign of eerie situation, which portends grave consequences because of the disappointment embedded in the judgment. Those are the words from the publicity secretary of the PDP. Now let's take a look at what the Labour Party chairman said in a statement. He said, having conclusively exercised our fundamental rights as gifted to us by the laws of the land, we have no other choice but to move on. We may be disappointed and dismayed by the outcome of the exercise, but we have chosen to trudge on and to remain optimistic of what the future holds for the nation. We may be sliding towards dictatorship. It is very clear the executive has hijacked both the judiciary and the legislature. And this is so unfortunate for our democracy, and it is even more for the people of Nigeria. Those are just, in part, some of the words from the Labour Party chairman. Now, quickly, let's get to our guest who joins us, from the United States of America, talking about Professor Tai Balofin, who is the chairman of the APC United States. Good to have you. And quickly, what's your reaction? We've seen so many divisive comments coming from Nigerians. There's been a lot of, gloom and, sadness and also excitement. Pretty divisive, I must say, but walk us through your reaction to all of this.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning. I appreciate the question. Nigerians have to understand that the case, the Supreme Court, we have just one jurisdiction, and that jurisdiction is to determine the outcome of the election, who won the election, and there's only one jurisdiction. And the court also decided that, yes, President Bola Tinubu, in fact, won the election. And he won the election free and fair, and that is what matters. So the most important thing now is that indeed, the reaction to the Supreme Court verdict have been so much diverse. Opposition parties, for instance, they have expressed their disappointments and concern about the decision. However, it is essential to note that this is a crucial aspect of our democratic process. The rule of law upheld by the judiciary is central to our democracy, which is also very important.
Now let's get to the verdict of the court. The opposition is saying the court is impartial. Your candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, won the election. His election has been upheld. What do you make of the court's verdict?
Well, we followed the case right from the beginning. This is the third step, which is the Supreme Court. We have to come to the reality that the president won the election. There's nothing anybody can do at this point. Even the opposition have no choice at this time. So the Nigerians should accept the result of the election in the interest of national unity and inclusivity are essential for the nation's stability. Political leaders should make deliberate efforts, right, to bridge regional, ethnic, and religious divides. This can be achieved through policies that prioritize representation and equitable resource distribution, which is also very essential, in this situation. The president won the election, and Nigerians should accept, opposition should accept, Nigerians should accept, and let us move on and concentrate on governance and see how we can resolve the problems that we are currently facing in Nigeria. And I trust that President Bola Tinubu is capable to take Nigeria to the next level.
Now, on the decision of the court, do you think the decision upholds all the accusations of the president? There have been so many accusations against the president. These verdicts, do you think that it erases, I think that's the word to use, all of the speculations and all of these arguments?
I think the opposition party should come to realize that their accusation is not valid. So the issue of hijacking the judicial system is not possible, and they cannot prove that. And I thoroughly disagree with that, with all due respect. But you can expect that in any polity. The losers will always come up with a defense to pretend as if that yes, they still won the election, but there's no proof. But my take on this is that bipartisanship can be a positive step forward for the nation, especially after hotly contested elections. Leaders, it is crucial, that political leaders to put the nation's interests first and work together on critical issues like governance and development. Whether this will happen depends on the willingness of all parties to cooperate for the greater good of Nigeria. So, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi should find a way to accept their fate and move Nigeria forward, and they can still contribute their intellectual prowess to develop the development of the nation. President Bola Tinubu is not a dictatorship, is a true Nigerian. And if you look at his antecedents, you will see that is a nation-building machine, and he has demonstrated that over time. So I trust that this administration will, make a big difference, that will, resolve all the political issues in the country, the economy will improve, the nation will be well managed, let me put it that way.
Now let's move on with our talking point, talking about how can the opposition work with government. Will your party, the APC-led administration, reach out to other members of the opposition? Now, I'm asking that because when you look at the appointments, the president seems to be done with all of the appointments. So if he's going to call the opposition to work together with him, what appointment is he going to give to them? And will he even make the effort to actually reach out to the opposition?
Well, I think that's where the issue of the national unity and inclusivity are essential for nation stability. And I believe that the political leaders across the nation should make deliberate effort to bridge regional, ethnic, and religious divides. This can be achieved through policies that prioritize representation and equitable resource distribution among all Nigerians. For example, you can see that the president appointed Wiki, who is from another political party. And I'm sure in this appointment, I've seen other party members that have been appointed in this government, notably PDP and a few people that are from the other political parties. So that shows you that the president is ready to unite the country regardless of their political affiliation. And is the president of Nigeria now. It's not the president of a political party, but the president of all Nigerians, including the president of opposition. Either Atiku and Obi likes it or not, President Tinubu is their president, the president of Nigeria, no doubt about it. And I know that President Bola Tinubu knows better. He understands the nitty-gritty of politics. It's a unifier, no doubt about it. The nation will move forward, and better days are coming for Nigeria, no doubt.
Now, Prof, you talked about Wike. Wike is someone that has engaged in anti-party activities. I mean, rewarding him with an appointment doesn't necessarily mean reaching out to the bulk of the opposition. The president's appointment so far has skewed towards favoring the members of your party. So help us make sense of this.
Well, again, I'd like to emphasize the importance of unity and collaboration. And that is the best way for Nigeria to move forward. Nigeria needs leaders, who prioritize national interests above party interests. So the path to a stronger democracy involves working together, maintaining the rule of law and fostering an inclusive political environment. We have to look at Nigerians that have the capacity to build Nigeria. So we cannot work on emotion and sentiment only. So we have to pick the best that can do the job and ensure that Nigeria is in a better position. We have to understand that Nigeria is a multi-ethnic country, whereby we have to balance. The issue of the national character is there, the religious divide is there, the Muslim-Christian dichotomy is also there. So I don't want to believe that the president will focus on his party alone. The president will focus on Nigeria. I believe also that the president has a blueprint and is working on the economy. He's working on poverty alleviation, which, of course, poor people, poor Nigerians will have opportunities, initiatives from different, areas where they can benefit from this administration. Yes, I understand the economy is in bad shape, but the president have hired the best hands that can handle it. The economic team are doing a fantastic job. And I believe that the president, very soon, we should have an understanding of the situation and trust that the president will make Nigeria better again.
Now, should the opposition be worried that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to come off after them, given the pressure that they put him, taking this matter even up to the Supreme Court?
Well, I don't see the president of Nigeria that will descend so low and begin to punish opposition. It doesn't work that way. It's the president of Nigeria. And President Bola Tinubu, even while I was a governor, you remember, he appointed people from other political parties, even in his Lagos state. And he already practiced, relationship with other political parties. So President Bola Tinubu would rather form a government of national unity if they are open. And I'm sure he's going to do that. In the next few appointments, you will see that will play out. So you have no worry about Peter Obi, should not worry about that. Like the Atiku Abubakar and other political parties, you have nothing to worry about. But it is time for us to come with all hands on deck and ensure that we build Nigeria together. That is the most important thing. Build Nigeria together. We should forget about self-aggrandizement at this point. We should focus on how we can collectively move our country forward. Now, let me tell you the problems that we have in Nigeria. The problem we have in Nigeria today is about Nigerians. I repeat, the problem that we have in Nigeria today is Nigerians. If we want to move Nigeria forward, collectively, we can move Nigeria forward. And then the second problem is the system. So we have to reoil and rebuild and re-strategize our system. Even if our system is not right, go and bring a hope or bring angel from heaven. The system will control the angel. The angel cannot control the system. So President Tinubu will have to work on the system, and Nigerians will have to work on themselves. And what do I mean by Nigerians? You know, we encourage corruption. We fail to come to reality that our responsibility as Nigerians plays a role in nation building. So we have to put that into consideration.
Now, Prof, I know you are probably saying all of this because your candidate won the election and his candidacy has been upheld by, of course, not just only INEC, but of course, the appeal court and then the Supreme Court. So it's a 3-time win for your party's candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, that's just the much that we can take with you for on the time that we have allocated for to have you on the program today. Thank you so much, Professor Tai, for being with us all the way from the United States of America, the APC chairman, United States of America. Once again, thank you, Prof, for being with us. All right, I will take a quick breather. When we come back, we've got reactions from members of the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party. Don't go anywhere. Politics Now continues in a short bit. And thank you so much for staying with us on Politics Now. Let's move the conversations forward. Toluyi joins us from Manchester, United Kingdom. Thank you so much for your time. You've always, hacking to the call anytime we request for, perspectives regarding the People's Democratic Party. Now, we saw how Atiku Abubakar pushed through with these moves to see that the candidacy of President Bola Tinubu's presidency, is annulled. And, we've seen reactions from Nigerians. What is the pulse in the People's Democratic Party? How are you people handling this defeat at the Supreme Court? And what do you make of the decision of the Supreme Court?
Oh, thank you, my brother. Thank you, viewers at home. It's nice to be here again. Well, you see, democracy it's something that must be protected, which all we've got in good intention. And judiciary needs to play its part in ensuring there's lasting democracy in Nigeria. But presently, I don't think that is the case. The Nigerian judiciary system, or the judiciary arm of government of democracy, like I want to say, is making it easy and is making it look like all you need to do in Nigeria is go and win election and be declared winner anyhow you want it or any way you want it to be. Just go be declared. Once you are declared, forget it. The judiciary has nothing to say. The judiciary has been shown like they don't have the power to do the needful. What they just want to do is they keep affirming. Because people, to tell ourselves the truth, the mood is not fantastic. Go to the streets of Nigeria, or the major cities, or everywhere, even in the hinterland. The moods are not fun. The people are not jubilating. They are not happy. Because if they're happy, you will know. Everybody will know. We know Nigerians. We are bubbling people. So when we are happy, people know the world will feel it. The judiciary, what it did yesterday, for someone like me, it was not unexpected when they took up their notice of trying to give the judgment quickly and all that, because we know why they did that, because they want to do all sorts of things they want to do, and because of what is happening in the US, the FBI using some cases and all that. So the Nigerian judiciary said, okay, let us play our part in supporting who we want to support, quickly pass the judgment before the FBI documents were released. It is painful that we are here, but what we can do, the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and we are abiding citizens, we are law-abiding citizens in the PDP and all that, and we are a party that believes in democracy and wants democracy to stand. So what can we do than to take it in? But we all know, even the blind man will hear the cry or the movement, or will see the movement of war when there's war. And so we know that the people are not happy. They're not happy, but what can we do? Because we look at it, when the highest law court in the land, and the honorable justices are telling Nigerians that they are not going to take things, even when it comes to the discrepancies in the credentials submitted, which is a total violation of common law, civil law, electoral laws. What they are saying, it was not filed. It is something they should have considered. It's something that should have been considered. But we know how it is. The Nigerian judiciary, sorry to say, has not played its part and has refused to play its part in sustaining our democracy. And it's shameful, to say the least. It's shameful that our justices at the Supreme Court have shown that they don't have the interest of people at heart, if I must say.
Now, do you think that this verdict validates or erases, I think erases the word, all the speculations about the president's ability to perform as president, not just his ability to perform, rather, but talking about, the fact that he is fit regarding the issue of certificate that your principal pushed forward?
That people don't believe in who the president, or don't believe in the necessity of the president, or validate his person as the president. The truth is, the judges or the justices have given their judgment. They can force people to believe what people will believe. Yes, he's going to complete his tenure. His 4-year tenure. Yeah, his 4-year tenure. Yes, let him complete it. But does it erase people's doubts? The answer is no, it can't, because people know it is a fact. It is an open secret that this man issued with a lot of controversy, from his name to his date of birth to his origin. Everything about this man is issued with a lot of secrecy, a lot of controversy, a lot of various information about him. He does not have anything that is not being disputed. And even the document he presented, and some of them will argue it is the transcript because the registrar said certificate is. But did he submit transcripts to INEC? The answer is no. He submitted a certificate, and the school said they did not issue the certificate. They will come and tell us about third party or not third party. The answer is, if it was third party will have had the mandate of the issue of the institution, so the institution would not have denied it. So he gave INEC, he submitted to Nigerians, he told Nigerians lies about his person, lies about his academic record. The question is not whether he went to the school. He could have gone to school and didn't finish. We went to some schools. I went to some primary schools and I didn't finish there. I finished in another primary school. I started in the secondary school. I didn't finish there. I finished in another secondary school. So if I'm providing a certificate of secondary school, I started and I didn't finish, that is perjury. That is a lie. because I finished in a different secondary school. So it's not about going to the school. It's about having the certificate of finishing from the school. So it's pressing whether the judges are given their judgment. We are not denying that. The judges are given their judgment, yes, but it doesn't mean that that Nigeria believes that he's who he said he is. It doesn't matter because he has not erased that from their mind. Nigerians know that this man that is parading himself as Nigerian president is screwed with a lot of controversies, and that is fine, and that is just it.
All right, so what is the way forward for your party? We've seen crisis upon crisis, that cost the PDP this election in terms of performance. What is the way forward for your party?
Thank you. For the PDP, like we said, we are a democratic party and a party filled with intellectuals, full of intelligence, men and women, young and old. And what we do is we go back to the drawing board, we strategize, we continue to consolidate on the wins. We will conduct our SWOT analysis. At the same time, we do all the analysis we need to do to know where we've done well and to understand where we are, where we were, where we are, and where we want to be, and to do all this analysis. And then we package ourselves and mend all the fences that needed to be mended, and then have everything and rejig and prepare and play a good opposition, because we have to play opposition for another 4 years for now. We are okay with it. We play good opposition. We strategize for the 2027, and God willing, by 2027, hopefully, we will now be thinking that our judiciary will have purged itself and decide to do what it needs to do, play its own part. Then when in 2027, we win more states, we want more seats in the National Assembly, and be ready to take the mantle of leadership so that we can make Nigeria great again and salvage Nigeria from this plague that APC had brought to the nation, and the nation is going down the drain, but we know we can revitalize the nation, and we will, by God's grace.
All right, MLT, thank you so much. We've got to move on now to Honorable Pastor Haruna, who joins us from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much. You're a member of the Labour Party. What are the reactions within your party, and how are you people taking this particular verdict from the Supreme Court?
Thank you for having me once more on this program. The Supreme Court verdict, I wouldn't say came to us as a shock. It was not a shock. As a matter of fact, it was expected. We would have been surprised if it has not gone the way it went. But the pulse around is the fact that people feel downcast. People feel robbed. People feel we are feeling like democracy has been ripped in this nation. And that's the truth. Because if you look at the verdict that was given, there was no substance at all. No substance. This is a verdict that is contradictory to precedents. So we are not happy, though it is not expected. We feel like our democracy has been raped, and it's like a coup against the nation. And to be frank and candid, it's going to take a very long time for the nation to heal from the verdict that went on yesterday. Thank you, sir.
So quickly, what is next for your party? Your chairman talked about moving forward. How is the Labour Party going to move forward and position itself for the next election, which is, of course, in a few years' time, 2027?
Well, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity to say thank you to the teaming supporters of Labour Party, the obedient movement, both home and in diaspora, every Nigerian, because it was very obvious that we had the support, we had everyone with us. And want to say that thank you very much to everyone who has put in one effort or the other, put in their resources, put in their time, put in intellect, and so many. For people to come out, since 1999 to date, this year's election is the first time that the youth will come out en masse. People came out, and that was because we thought that the INEC will be prudent enough to stay within the confines of the law and within the principles that they themselves have put in place for the election. But unfortunately, that was not the case. So going forward, Labour Party, we are repositioning, we are re-strategizing, and it's giving us another time to galvanize and make our structure more concrete, such that will give us the kind of results that we want to have. Besides, Labour Party, if you ask me to rank all the parties that participated in the last election, Labour Party, I would say, was the best. Was the best because in a little time, look at what we were able to do. We were able to shake the political scene of this country to its foundation. And all thanks to our principal, all thanks to all the party structures, all thanks to the obedient movements and all support groups that worked together to have this done, along with everyone Nigerian.
Now, the presidency and the APC have talked about, government, the opposition working with government. How is that going to happen? Is the Labour Party ready to work with this administration?
Okay, this is two questions in one. First and foremost, working together as one Nigeria. Like I said earlier, it's going to take a lot of time to heal. That's just the fact. It will take a lot of time to heal because the damage, the injury is so deep and wide. But working together as one Nigerian is the fact that our ideology is not the same. Our ideology is not the same. So you see, two cannot work together except they be agreed. So because our ideology is not the same, our modus operandi is not the same, the principles and the virtues that guide us is not the same. So it's going to be a lot of, I feel it will be a lot of issues working together, but we are still one Nigerian. We will do whatsoever we can to make sure that this country does not deteriorate further than it has, especially in its economy and other facets. But the truth is that it's looking like an Herculean task right now, talking about working together. I feel those statements are just political and administrative statements that is meant to just gain the sympathy of Nigerians and the world at large. And on whether I am afraid of persecution, well, we have always gone through persecutions. If I tell you some of the things that a lot of people have suffered in this last election, you will not believe it if it is not around your corner. So, but one thing we know is that Nigeria belongs to all of us. We cannot leave our country for anybody. Because it belongs to all of us, we will all stay here and work to make sure that Nigeria is better than it is. So if anybody is having the mind of coming after Labour Party and her supporters, I would say good luck with that. But I don't think anybody will even do that. I don't think anybody will go that far. But even if that is, I would say good luck with that.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts, Honorable. Let's move over back to Manchester, United Kingdom, where MLT, of course, you're still with us. Thank you so much for your time. What is next for your party, the PDP?
Thank you, my brother. You see, when the the president comes and say he wants to build, and he wants a government of unity government, or what he wants to call it, I laugh, because he has done his appointment, and his appointment has been APC. You see, this is a man that likes to dribble and likes to lie, so he's just going to do all kind of things for Joe Nigerians. But we are too smart. PDP, like I told you, PDP is a gathering of intellectuals, which you yourself and everybody that wants to tell themselves the truth will tell you that we are a coalition of intellectuals. So all that, we are not swayed with stuff like that and what you want to say. The only thing the PDP is interested in doing is ensuring the work that Nigeria is great again. And that is what we'll continue to do. Even as opposition, we'll continue to work with people we need to work with, collaborate with, to see that Nigeria is great. So it's not about working with APC. We are not interested in it. The truth is, you can't build anything on nothing. It's in the law, it's in the law of nature, it's in the law of the land, it's in the law of spirituality. Any kind of law you want to see it, you can't build nothing, and you can't build something on nothing. And as far as we are concerned, this government's foundation is nothing. So why do we want to build something on our integrity? We are not ready to do that. But we are going to work as a party to ensure that Nigeria is great in our own little way. In every state, PDP has governors, and we have governors who continue to show the light with our governors in those states, and our federal legislators continue to show the way, ensuring that they make motions, they do the needful thing, ends and laws are work to help ease, or policies are being made to help ease the life of Nigerians and see that Nigeria can be great. That is the way. And in time of being scared of being vilified by this government, we've been there for the past 8 years, going to 9 years now. They've done that to us. But like I said, we are big. We are strong. Our tenacity is something else. Except anybody wants to lie about it, we've been tenacious and we'll continue to stay. Look, we are not scared of them. We are big boys, so to say. When I mean big boys, it's ishy. I mean it. So I'm not trying to downplay what our ladies are doing. So it's about the ladies, and look, the men and women in PDP, young and old, we know and we have the love for Nigeria in our hearts, and we are a great party that brought Nigeria to its prosperity, and we can do it again. So no matter what they want to do, we are not bothered. They've been doing it in the past 8 years, and we are surviving it, and we'll continue to survive it. Look, it's not even up to 4 years again, because we've spent some months out of the 4 years term they have. So we'll continue to do what we do and ensure that we bring success to Nigerians. And like I said, our members will continue to do what we do, those in the National Assembly, both at the Senate, at the House of Rep, and the governors in the states will continue to do what we do and do it best, and ensuring that we help protect our national democracy in Nigeria and ensure that Nigeria is great again. But that is what we want Nigeria to be, because we want to rebuild and want to rebrand our nation.
All right, let's get back to you, Honorable Haruna. We've seen a lot of, faults here and there regarding our electoral process in this nation. How can we improve the political process? Will this government, work towards ensuring that we have a better electoral process and system in this country? Quickly, your thoughts.
The major flaw in the last political process, in the last election, is the fact that the last election had taught Nigerians not to trust the government agencies. And that we know for a fact. We know this before now. And the last election, people came out to participate with the whole of their hearts, believing that it's the beginning of the change in the narrative. But unfortunately, a chameleon a leopard rather, cannot change its skin. In the last election, everything we were told was all jettisoned. Everything that was said. INEC, everything that was said was jettisoned. In fact, as a matter of fact, right now, we don't even know if the Constitution is sacrosanct anymore. If the Constitution is sacrosanct, then the judgment that went on from the tribunal down to the appeal should not have gone the way it went. So right now, we don't even know which part of our laws are sacrosanct. We don't know which part of our laws are bendable. We don't even know if the laws can protect us anymore. And it is rather very unfortunate. It is a case of an almost vote of no confidence in the entirety of the political system of this country. But what can the current administration do? It's a lot of task, but they will have to do it to gain the confidence of Nigerians again. It's something that will take more than 4 years. 4 years is not enough. 4 years is not enough. Right now, the off-cycle election in Kogi State, in Bayelsa State, and in Imo State is in top gear. It's about a few days away, about 2 weeks plus away now. As I speak to you, these states, every policies and principles that INEC is dishing out, as long as these states are concerned, they are just blabbings. Blabbings because everything INEC said in the last election, none of it was done. And it was still okay. You see, that is the irony of it. The irony of it is that it was still okay. So the truth is that the election in these 3 states, it's a point where the current administration, the APC-led administration, will have to do a lot to change the narrative that Nigerians now see that we are a country that does not respect the laws, especially when it has to do with the political elite. And it is rather very unfortunate. So the truth is, we have lost confidence totally in the system. Kogi State, Bayelsa State, Imo State are going into the election. But the truth is that the people are just going into that election, I don't know, suspended, because they don't even know what to expect. You don't know whether the electoral laws will be respected. You don't know whether the Constitution will be respected. You don't know whether the INEC guidelines will be respected, because all of these things were jettisoned in the last election. And it is still fresh. The wound, the injury is still very, very fresh. So the APC-led government have a lot to do to gain the trust of Nigerians. The truth is that we don't trust the system. We don't trust the agencies. We don't trust the government. We don't trust anything that has to do with Nigeria anymore.
All right, thank you very much. Now back to you, MLT. You know, I was listening to a senior advocate of Nigeria talk about the fact, making an accusation to past governments in this country who, you know, created the 1999 Constitution in such a way that they could benefit, you know, from all the loopholes that we've seen so far regarding the Constitution and how it shapes the electoral process in the country. What are your thoughts on what can be done to make the process better?
Like Honorable Pastor Aruna said, you see, Nigerians have lost trust in the whole system, and that is it, and that's it is the truth. Now the international community look at Nigeria like, these people are serious. They even know what democracy is. They even know what the law is. The Supreme Court, with this Supreme Court judgment, Nigerians are downcasted, and it just shows that the electoral law needs to be revisited, because that shows that there's a lot of controversies and there's a lot of things that are not well done. The Supreme Court gave a judgment that contradicts itself, which is a big turn down, for lack of word. This is a big turn down for the people. And it shows that INEC is really not even independent, like we call them, independent electors. They are not independent. They have shown over and over again they are not in that they are independent. They are so dependent on the executive, and anything can happen. Then what is APC doing to ensure that they reintegrate the trust and reorientate Nigerians? They've not done anything to do that. Rather, they've been playing, they still be dancing to what the Igbo in the local parlance call Surugede, which is the dances of the gods without knowing it. They are still dancing the macabre dance and not telling Nigerians the truth. You see, there can only be reconciliation when all the aggrieved party accept their fault and really won't leave. We saw what President Obasanjo did with the Okuta panel. He came and he brought him, because that is real reconciliation. That is real integration. Those are the things I'm telling you that PDP have done before we can't do. But APC have shown that they lack all these things. And people are going to Kogi election, going to Bayelsa election, go to Imo election, hoping and trusting, not with confidence, which is a big shame, because people should be going with confidence, but they're hoping. Nigerians are still hoping and trusting after how many years of this present dispensation of democracy. It just shows 24 years after, we are still hoping. Come on. Each child 24 years is married. Most 24 years old are married and having their own family, both being husbands or being wives. But it's just that we've seen ourselves in a place where people are not serious. But we just hope that INEC, because for someone like me, I'm very optimistic that INEC will redeem itself with the off-cycle election in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo.
All right, thank you so much for your time, MLT. We're out of time. I want to thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. And of course, over to you, Honorable Pastor Haruna. Thank you so much for being with us on the program today. And also to Professor Tayo, all the way from the United States. Thank you so much for being with us today. Well, that's the much that I can take today on the program. Once again, my name is Mono Balagbubu. May God bless Nigeria, and may Nigeria continue to move forward. Have a blessed day.